Oh my word. This food looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to eat. This restaurant looks so classy and fancy. It must have cost an arm and a leg to come here, no? I imagine you probably spend a lot of money if you come here every time to eat.
No, it's nothing really. It's the least I could do for my mother-in-law now, isn't it? Plus, my situation is really stable. My income and earnings are more than enough to find us a table at a restaurant like this. From now, there's no reason for either of you to have to worry.
That's right. You really have worked so very hard to get where you are now. But you know, that's the thing with businesses. There will certainly be good times, but there's bound to be bad times too, you know. It's at those times you need to have a family to rely on. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Of course, you're exactly right. And so going forward, I'll do my best to take care of my family together with Sophie. And I just want to say thank you for always supporting and believing in us, even back when we first got married.
Oh, come on now. We were always going to support you, weren't we? That's a given when it comes to family. And that goes for marriage, too. It's not like how it was back when I was young, when the man had to provide and struggle to care for his family just on his own. These days, it's more so about working together as part of a unit.
Yes, he's very right. In fact, I too was quite worried at the start. Marriage isn't just about one or two problems that might arise between the two of you. We know that in actual fact there can be no end to problems in marriage sometimes.
But even so, you even went to the lengths of giving us a huge apartment. And even after that, while I was having a hard time with the business, you know I was struggling to give Sophie any money too. So rather than put me down, you instead cheered me on and supported me.
I too went through a lot of struggles with my business when I was your age. So that's why whenever you're struggling or having a hard time, we have to help each other. What kind of family would it be if we didn't form strong bonds with each other? And besides, from what I can see from all the effort you've put into your work, you've wanted to try your absolute best to help us too.
That's right. There's not a lot this man can't do. He really didn't want to disappoint either of you, and that's why he's worked so hard to become successful. Even when we were planning the wedding, he ended up contracting an illness since it was so exhausting for him. With everything going on with the wedding and the business, it ended up taking a real toll on him.
Exactly. And it's exactly in those times that are so tough that businesses tend to crumble more often than not. To have been able to endure all of that well, it seems you really are a man of strong will. And so here, go on, have a drink. I think we've spoken a little too much about the past today, haven't we? From now, let's talk about the future and only try and dream of the better days that are to come.
Thank you, sir. I really do appreciate everything. I want you to know that I think of the pair of you in the same way I do my actual parents. In fact, you supported me a lot more than my own parents did too.
No. They only said those kind of things because of how much they care for you. They are your parents after all. It can be hard for parents to say such supportive words when they're worried about their children.
Are you really sure? At the time, during the first few struggles my business was going through, my parents told me to not even think about stepping one foot in their house.
Come on now, you don't have to go and start talking about those kinds of things. You'll ruin the mood. He's looking to expand his business even further, so he's quite busy these days too. I heard you found yourself a new accountant as well as a good new business partner, no?
Is that so? Well, just make sure that while you're running a business, you stay cautious about everyone you meet. You must always take the utmost care. A good way for people to be deceived is through business, you know. In this country alone, there's a lot of fraudsters working in business out there.
Well, I'm certainly glad you told me. I'm sure I'll take extra care when I'm dealing with someone new and do all I can to make sure this business is a successful one.
Come now, honey. I think that's enough serious chit-chat for one day, don't you? I really can't get enough of this food. It's so good. Have you tried the lobster?
I'm glad you like it. If you would like any more, please just say. Hey, honey. Have you seen my portable razor by any chance? I thought I left it over here, but I can't seem to find it.
Oh, that? Yeah, actually I put it away a little while ago whilst I was cleaning up. But I have to say, it looks like you've been using it quite a lot recently, huh? It was all packed and full of lots of old hair, so I soaked it in some detergent and cleaned it all out for you. Here it is.
Thank you for doing that, honey. I would have done it myself, but I've been so busy lately, I just haven't had the time. I'm going to be going away again for around 1 or 2 days this time around. Are you sure you're going to be okay on your own?
Come on now, I'm not a child. Besides, work have sent me a big piece of content to translate, so I'll be busy doing that anyway. I'll also be busy until around tomorrow. Then, once I've arranged my schedule for the next few days, I'll probably head back into work.
That's right, you always seem to have a steady stream of work too. So what kind of work did they send you this time?
I have to translate some kind of medical science publication this time. And since there's lots of professional language in there, the same pay seems pretty good. But of course, it's nothing too difficult. At least not for someone like me anyway. So anyway, if you're gone tomorrow, will you be back the next day?
I think that'll probably be the case, yeah. This time we're working in the real estate market, so there's quite a lot of work to be done in the surrounding areas.
I see. I know your work is always related to revenue and imports, but don't you think working in the real estate market is a little risky? I'm a little worried about it is all.
Come on now, honey. You know this country was built on the real estate market. There's always ways to make money. Think about it. Land, buildings, ownership. It's the best industry to be in right now. Even your parents have invested a hefty sum into real estate in their time, haven't they?
That might be so, but my mom had to work really hard for what they have now. It wasn't done through the expansion of businesses or anything like that. She was just playing around with whatever finances she had at that time. But since you said you're planning on expanding into that market too, I've just become a little worried about the scale of everything. Is it not a little too much? It takes quite a bit of money to invest in real estate too, you know.
Hey now, you have got to believe in me, okay? You do trust me, don't you, honey?
Of course I trust you. If I didn't trust you, do you really think I would have gotten married to you? But you know, back then, you'd only just found yourself a job. And up until now, you've been steadily working on exports and getting things sold, which was great. But it seems like these days, you've started this new business without any real basic ground knowledge about the industry.
Basic knowledge? All I have to do is look it up online or on one of those video sites and I'll find all I need to know about real estate.
Okay, I got it. Well then, make sure you go and do it well, okay? You better not mess this up.
Of course not. I understand you're worried, but you've just got to trust me. Got it? But you know, for some reason, I'm feeling really good about it this time. The person I'm working together with this time is the kind who knows everything about buildings from the ground up. Even just by connecting with people like these, it's as though success is just around the corner.
Is that so? Well, okay then. Just don't go forgetting about me when you're out there connecting, okay?
Oh, well, of course not, honey. You know I'll see you when I can.
We might both be working people, but that doesn't mean that we should skimp out on seeing each other. Even if it's just a small gift that's given to you face to face, just to keep you going while you're working. What kind of thing would be good? I mean, you are a working man now, so maybe alcohol? Yeah, I think that would make a perfect present, actually. So let's arrange a time to meet.
No, don't be silly. You're too busy to have enough time for all that. Plus, it's a little too early to be popping the champagne now, don't you think?
Even so, try and arrange some time for me as quick as you can, okay? I am your wife after all.
Huh? Of course, honey. I'll do that.
That's strange. He brought up the entire situation first, so why does he seem so awkward all of a sudden? It's been a while since I brought him lunch at work. There's no way he'll be expecting this. I can't wait to see his face. Whoa, it's the first time I'm back here since we got together. But saying that, we've both been so busy with work since then. It's only been 3 years since we've gotten married, but time has flown by so quickly. It seems like we rarely get to spend any real time with each other these days. In that case, now is my chance to get that precious time we should have had after we got married. Is that Jenny? Jenny! Hey, Jenny! Over here! Huh? Sophie, is that you? Well, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been far too long. I came to bring over some lunch. I also have a lot of work these days, so I'm quite busy without a lot of time. But thankfully, my recent work has been pushed back a little bit, so I managed to find a tiny bit of extra time. Say, have you seen George?
Oh, George? I'm guessing you didn't contact him before stopping by.
That's right. He was on a business trip until yesterday evening, but he arrived home late, so I haven't been able to see him yet. Seeing as he gets up early most mornings for work, I assumed surely he'd be in the office, but it looks like he hasn't come yet.
Well, why don't you come on in first? That must be so heavy. Here, let me get that for you.
Thanks, Jenny. I thought he'd be here working together with you all, so I brought enough for everyone. I only wanted to bring him some lunch, but I have no idea where he is.
Well, could you give me just a second? I should dish these out to the rest of the employees, but afterwards, perhaps we could have a chat?
Huh? Is everything okay? Sure, I suppose I have time for a quick talk. It's your lunchtime right now, but you still haven't eaten a thing. Are you sure you're really okay? Or if not, we can go to a restaurant. It's really no problem.
I'm fine, really. Plus, it's not easy to have a real conversation whilst you're eating, so... I'm not even sure where to start. As I'm sure you already know, my boss, well, George, has started out the new business for the first time this year, right?
Yes, that's right. I heard that he was introduced to it by the accountants he had a work meeting with at the start of the year. He said they gave him all kinds of information and that they were a valuable asset to his business.
Well, I'm afraid I really don't think I should be telling you things like this.
Come now, there's no need to hesitate. You can tell me anything. Is there something I should be worried about?
It's just that, you see, the new business partner of his, well, she's a bar hostess. She owns a bar.
What? Did I hear that right? A bar hostess? No, a bar manager?
Yeah. When I say bar, of course it's the kind of bar you drink in, but it's also the kind of bar that has private rooms for paying customers, too. But I'm afraid his accountant isn't really that good of a person. George tends to like those special rooms, so he goes to that bar often to meet the accountant. But she's actually the bar's hostess, too. I also didn't find out until a little later what was really going on. He started leaving work wearing quite new and fancy clothes, and I started to suspect something was going on. Because of all of this, there's kind of an uneasy atmosphere in the office these days. I thought perhaps you already knew.
Well, I don't know what to say, really. But now that you mention it, I did get a bit of a strange feeling before. He's actually been quite inattentive towards me since the start of the year. He assured my parents that he'd do good by me, but since becoming a married couple, I feel a sense of distance between us. But even so, why is the atmosphere in the office uneasy?
There could be a few reasons, but one is certainly that the bar hostess often pops in and out of the office from time to time. Even the rest of the employees are picking up on it and are reading it as something bad. As all of this is going on, a lot of the things he's importing into work are a bit odd too. Looking at all the imports, it seems that both the quality of the product and the sales are down recently. It's got to the point now where I'm actually thinking about resigning.
Has it really got to that point? Is it really that bad?
I'm afraid so. You should see the way she glares at everybody whenever she stops by the office. And if I'm honest, I think that whenever she comes into the office, well, you know, even the girl who used to take out the trash has quit. That's how bad this has all become.
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. Please just calm down, okay? Thank you, Jenny. For telling me, I mean. But actually, if you don't mind me asking, do you by any chance have his personal information or anything like that?
Oh, actually, last time I had to do an errand for the boss in which I had to send in some kind of delivery, so I imagine I should have her name and address stored somewhere. Perhaps her mobile number, too. But please, if they find out where on earth you managed to find out any of this information, I think they'll...
It's okay. There's no need for you to worry. I won't mention your name, not even once, okay? But really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for letting me know, Jenny. I won't ever forget this kindness.
Hey, honey. Do you mind if I take a seat here for a second?
Sure thing, go ahead. The longer I leave it, the less time I'll have to ask him about what's going on. Is everything okay? Do you have something you need to talk about?
Well, you see, honey, I'm really, really sorry. I think it would be tough to ask this of anyone other than you, I'm afraid.
What's going on? Come now, what kind of couple can't talk about their problems with one another?
I guess you're right. Well, Sophie, is there any chance we could take out a loan? But with our house as collateral?
With our house as collateral? But why do you need to do that? For what reason could you possibly need that kind of money all of a sudden?
Well, oh, come on, It's for the plan in order to set up my new business. You know that. But seeing as that place needs some drastic redevelopments, they're asking for the money quite quickly. The size of the land is a lot bigger than I first thought, so I think it is probably going to take a lot more money to get it done.
Oh, I see. So then, how much money do you need exactly?
On top of the finances I already have available at the moment, I think I'm going to need around an extra $200,000. If I just take out a loan as it is, the interest rate will be quite severe. However, if we use the house as security and collateral, I don't think the rate will be as high. But of course, whatever needs paying back, I'll pay it back, no shadow of a doubt.
I think all of that will be a little bit on the difficult side, don't you? Or at least quite exhausting. Actually, it hadn't been long after we got married that you started your business. And at first, it looked like you and your business were doing extremely well without any kind of difficulties. But can you remember how much my mom worried about you having a tough time running a business?
I know, but that was in the past. Now our livelihood and incomes is sufficient, is it not? I'm earning more than enough these days in order to manage it. And you have to remember, I've already put $300,000 of my own money into it.
Are you sure that's all your money? It's not your company's finances now, is it? I'm fairly certain that money isn't there for you to just use it in any which way you see appropriate.
What? No. Anyway, regardless, that money is whatever money is left over from the excess profits the company makes. Plus, to that degree, if we add whatever money we get from the loan onto the sum of that, it's more than possible for it to work.
But even so, we don't have $200,000, so you're not asking me to take my house as collateral, are you? I'm sorry, but no. I'm afraid I simply cannot agree to that.
Oh, come on now, honey. We are a team, aren't we? I really thought you of all people would understand. I love you more than anything, but it seems to me like money is more important to you than I am. I told you countless times how much I wanted to achieve this big dream of mine, but you can't even give me the resources to do it. It's not like I'm asking you for your money. I'm just merely asking that we put the house up as security to get a loan. I told you I'd make sure to pay it back.
I told you no. I can't just use the house my parents gave us as security to facilitate taking out a loan. It's not happening.
Fine then. Let's get divorced. I can't believe you. If the situation was the other way around and it was you asking me for something, I'd give you it all with no questions asked. So why is it so hard for you to do the same thing for me? If it's really so hard for you, then I want to know what kind of reason there is for us to stay together. Regardless, up until now, I thought my contributions to us would be recognized as somewhat sufficient. But seeing as that's not the case, we'll split the finances and I'll use that to finish setting up my business.
You're going to divorce me and use the money split between our finances in order to fund your business?
That's right. Then once I'm finally finished and the business is gathering success, I'll propose to you once again. I'm sorry, I really am. I really love you more than anything, but you're giving me no other choice than to go with that option.
I see. Fine. Let's do it that way then.
What? You're okay with it? Are you being serious?
Oh yes, I'm very serious. Let's get divorced.
Oh, well, okay. Let's get divorced. But you see, I'm very sorry. I just don't have the ability to go on like this. I feel like after having such a conversation like this, it will be hard for us to even be together with each other in the same house. From today, I think it would be best if I moved out. It's only right. It would be strange for a couple who are talking about getting divorced to continue to live in the same house now, wouldn't it?
Okay, sure. Pack your things and go. Take care now. You seem to be going on many business trips these days too, so make sure to pack your travel bag extra well before you go.
What on earth is going on? Why is she agreeing to get divorced to me so passively? Does she really not have an issue with any of this? Does she know something? But hey, Sophie, for what reason are you agreeing to all of this so easily for? Did you want to get divorced to me anyway? Is that what this is?
No, not at all. But you just unraveled this huge plan of how to make your business successful, and I thought it'd simply be too exhausting to support that. Besides, you really wanted to work on this business so much, surely me going along with the divorce so easily is helping you out, is it not? Go ahead and do what you like. I'm afraid that's the best I can give you. Make sure you go carefully now. Do I have to see you off too?
No, it's not that. Don't go regretting anything now. You hear me?
What do you mean, regret? You said you'd come and find me again later once everything is going well. You said you'd propose to me again later on, right? So then I'll think about that while I'm expecting you to come back. Make sure to look after your health too, okay? Are you sure you packed everything? Wouldn't it look just a little bit funny when you finally come back?
Okay, I got it. I said I got it. I'm leaving now, so just quit it now, would you? What is it that she could possibly be up to right now? I thought surely she'd still be wanting to argue with me about the divorce, but she doesn't seem bothered at all.
Excuse me, sir, but you can't just walk straight in there like that.
What are you talking about? I used to live here. I think I know what I'm doing, thank you very much. The passcode doesn't seem to be working, so can you just hurry up and get this door open for me, will you?
I'm afraid if any tenants are currently going through some kind of divorce or legal proceedings, we aren't allowed to let the partner in due to safety measures. The building manager has asked us to be very strict about managing this role for the safety of the tenants.
Safety measures? What on earth is this guy going on about? Well, you see, the thing is I haven't been able to contact my wife, so I really need to get in to see her. Now hurry up and let me in! There's some very precious documents in there that I must take with me to my office.
Since there's no telling that what you're saying is true or not, under what authority do you expect me to open the door for you? If I'm to do that and lose my job, you'll get off scot-free now, won't you? I'm afraid I'm not willing to take that kind of risk.
Oh, come on! All I'm asking for you is to open the door and then you can be on your way.
And for what reason have you decided to come here? Thanks a lot for your help up until now, sir, but I'll take it from here. You can leave now.
Oh, yes, well, you're right. Please have a word with this gentleman, would you? Could you imagine what would have happened if I'd actually let him in? Yeah, my job would have been toast. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Why did you go and change the passcode to the apartment? And who do you think you are sending me a written accusation like this? What is going on? Written divorce terms? Accusation filed? Acts of cheating? Compensation? Need I go on?
Fine. If you are really not bothered about how embarrassing this will be and you want to discuss it here, then that's fine by me. Let's do it here, shall we? All of those things you just read out. You read them correct. I know that you've met another woman, George. I also know that you were using this so-called new business of yours as an excuse to spend all that money so frivolously. So therefore, I made up my mind to get a divorce. I don't want to be with you, George. But even so, I still can't believe you have the nerve to ask me to take out the house as security for another loan. I really never expected that kind of thing to come from you. Either way, we finally reached the point of divorce one way or another. So tell me, is there any reason why I shouldn't go through with it?
Well, no. You've got it all wrong. That person, she's... You know what, you're right. Fine. Happy. She does work at a hostess bar, and yes, she is the main hostess there too. But despite her line of work, she gave me a huge hand with the whole real estate business and taught me lots of useful things about it.
But then tell me, why did you try to deceive me by telling me they were a guy? Or all the times I tried to make time for us, but you kept trying to avoid me each and every time?
It's just that whenever we meet, the clothes she wears are always a little bit, well, you'd only have to take one look at her, and I know you'd get the wrong idea straight away. I knew you'd misunderstand the situation, so I had no choice in the matter. It's really not what it seems. We are strictly just business partners. I mean it. I know how it looks, but everyone has misunderstood the entire situation. I'm being serious.
But you see, the problem is, George, I already have proof of everything. Thanks to that dash cam of yours, I have all the content and each and every conversation you've had with her. It's even at the point now where I've got every last disgusting detail of what you said written down. You'll be able to listen to it just like I did when we go to court.
Excuse me? Are you saying you tapped my car? You planted something in there?
That's right. And I heard everything. What's wrong? Was it a mistake that I rigged the car of my cheating husband? Or is it my cheating husband who is to be blamed here? Are you sure this wasn't all your mistake?
What are you talking about? I can't believe this. Of course, whenever anyone starts a business with any kind of partner, they're bound to get close and develop some sort of friendship, right? You're misreading it all. We're just friends. I'd never go as far as to cheat on you like that. You have to understand.
Can't you see how this looks from my point of view? Surely if your only way of starting a business is with such a dirty method, it says a lot about what kind of man you are. I'm tired. That's all I have to say, so please do me a favor and get lost. You really have spent a lot of money here, there, and everywhere, haven't you? But when we get married, how on earth are we going to divide your financial assets, huh? You really thought you had contributed a whole lot to our finances, didn't you? Perhaps you should have weighed everything up before saying such things now, shouldn't you?
Whatever. Okay, so the house was given to us by your parents. What's the big deal? I still contributed more than my share to maintaining that place, you know. Not to mention keeping our lifestyle and spending habits above water. So surely I'll still get the main share of whatever the house is worth.
Wow, so you're going as far as not just wanting half the house, but the majority share of it? Do I really need to explain why that isn't going to happen? Do you really have no conscience whatsoever? In that case, I'll say it slowly for you. Okay, George? The problems just seem to never end with you, do they? Even at the time that we got married, for whatever tough reason, you didn't give merely a single penny towards our living expenses. It had been just over 2 years when you had decided to actually start contributing some money towards us. But anyway, from now, the living costs you'll have to pay will be far more expensive. Not to mention the debts you'll have to pay off too. So please take this document outlining the compensation that you need to owe me. Cough up everything that you need to repay, and then we're finished. You got all that?
Compensation? Come on now, Sophie. Wouldn't you say this is taking it too far? Think about all those times I bought your parents food. I did whatever I could at the time.
Food? You're talking about food? All of that put together probably still only comes to around a few $100, George. Believe me, you have a lot more debt than that now. Just think about how many hundreds of meals you'd have to buy just to pay that off. If you really want to be that petty, how about the fact that you sat around and did nothing for a whole year while my parents let you live at their house rent-free? It was my money that you used to buy things with at that point, too. Would you like to make your argument once again? Maybe try properly this time.
Sophie, come on now. Please.
It's about time you started living within your own means and stopped scrounging off other people. Once your business is started, you can go and live and spend your own money by your own means. Seeing as I did love you at one point, there was a time when I considered fulfilling my role as wife until the very end. I think absolutely useless things like, whatever will I do now without him? I have no one else but him. But now that I see there is more to life than just you, I've taken on a different perspective. I guess now you'll probably go and try to steal all of that bar hostess's money and finances too, right?
Hey, I have self-respect too, you know. I can at least be proud and happy of the fact that I have some sort of self-pride left in me. You don't think I was sad too during our marriage? It was tough for me too.
Was it so tough that you had to go out and cheat on me? I don't think I've ever heard such nonsense in all my life. Phew, okay, I think we're done here. You don't have anything else left to say, do you? In that case, go and make your mind up about what you actually want. Pay back everything you owe and have a good life. You're not planning on staying and begging, are you?
Begging? What? Fine, we're done. I don't even want to continue to talk with someone who's being so cheap. Go ahead, do what you want with your documents and accusations and whatnot. There's no way you really think I don't have enough money for myself. I'll be getting a lawyer just so you're aware. You hear me? You'll be hearing from my lawyer and I mean it.
Okay, go and have a nice chat with your lawyer then. I'm so very curious as to what your lawyer might say about this whole situation too. Excuse me, sir. You remember that man's face, don't you? Could you please make everyone else aware too? He's someone that everyone should keep an eye out for.
Yes, of course. Don't worry, I've already made note. She certainly showed him who's the boss around here. That can't be! Please show me where this kind of law actually exists. Surely this accusation can't proceed like this. I can't believe this. This lawyer is a lot more stupid than he looks. My word, so you're saying I can't receive my share of the finances and I have to repay back everything that I owe? Am I hearing you wrong, or is that exactly what you have just told me? Well, you see, to this degree, it certainly seems like a rare case that you won't be able to split the finances with your wife, but how did you manage to get married under these conditions? It seems like you must have really loved her. What are you talking about? Of course the pair of us loved each other, hence why we got married, just like any normal couple. Well, if you look here, you can see where the investment of the marriage starts to come in. Furnishings, wedding presents. If we look at all of these things, you can see that the content of your wife's expenses is a lot more than yours. But now, if we take a look at the list of things that you contributed to the cost of the wedding, we can see just a few small payments and a wedding gift, so it seems. That's not the point. I earned a lot more money than she ever did. Of course, in the first year of our marriage, I didn't earn as much as she did, but after that, my business started growing at a steady rate and the yearly sales must have been in the hundreds of thousands, no? While that might be correct, the amount you earned also coincides with the amount of your cost of living expenses. Quite a fair portion of that was also put into funding your business, as well as to pay for the car that you are using now. Well, yes, that is correct. On top of that, in terms of the marriage affair, there isn't anything we can actually argue. These days, it isn't required for someone to take a picture firsthand for it to be presented as valid proof in court. Of course, it was rather difficult to find proof of adultery way back when. But I'm afraid these days, whatever phone calls or messages or anything like that you might have sent can act as pretty solid proof. Ah, you even visited each other at the office. What? How can they possibly know about that too? If things like this just keep suddenly popping up out of nowhere, what can I even possibly do to try and help myself? Well, seeing as facts are facts, we can't just not acknowledge them. Our best defense would probably be to try and cut down the amount of money you owe by as much as possible. And it says here that, well, she came to the office wearing nearly next to nothing. Anyway, you're only expecting counseling and advice from me. Is that right? Sorry. And what do you mean by that? Well, you see, I'm afraid that taking on such a shameful case such as this wouldn't bear well for my career. I'm sure you can understand, but it wouldn't be very good for my image. What are you talking about? You're a lawyer! You get paid to take on these types of cases. I'm afraid it just seems like too much drama for me. Of course, I'm aware that lawyers, too, can only earn as much as they work, but this case is just a bit... It's quite muddy. And if I am to be very honest with you, I too would rather not be embroiled in this kind of mess. As a lawyer, I too have the right to reject a case that I don't want to take on. What? Are you serious? But if you don't take on the case, then... Does that mean other lawyers probably won't accept my case either? I'm afraid that the very nature of your case is rather absurd and a little nonsensical, so the fact that you want to take a share of the finances without actually having paid an awful lot to begin with puts a lot of lawyers off. You always mention that you don't intend to pay your wife any compensation back, which would mean the lawsuit probably wouldn't go smoothly. Because of this, I think it will be near impossible to find a lawyer willing to take on such a case. I'm sorry. But still, if you're a lawyer, surely you can take on cases like this too. What's the point if you just pick and choose what cases you want? I thought good lawyers knew the law inside and out. How is it that this case just happens to be so difficult? If the law was made to cater only to what we wanted and not what was morally right, what kind of country do you think this would be? At the very least, yes, it can be seen as unfair, certainly through the eyes of certain people. I think trying to help this case in any way will be a massive struggle. But then, do I really have to take on this lawsuit head-on as it is? Without any backing? I can't believe any of this. But even so, I can't stop thinking about my share of the money. I need those finances. It might be late, but I think I better collect all my investments now whilst I still can. What to do? Why is it always me that gets stuck in such unfair and unnecessary situations such as this? Hello? Are you there? Molly, it's me, George. I don't think I'm going to be able to invest in that real estate like I said I would.
Huh? Really? Why not? But I don't think it will be possible to take your investment out now. Just wait a little longer, okay? It's a little hard to take investments at this moment in time anyway.
No, you don't understand. My wife has found out everything about us. And what's more, she submitted a divorce file against me where I have to pay her compensation. But it's so expensive, it's crazy. If I try and wait until the profits of my investment come out, I think it'll be too late. What do I do?
Come on now, George. Come on now, honey. Try and calm down. We just have to wait a little longer is all. I invested a lot of money in there too, you know. Why don't you just take some extra money out of the office? It is in your name after all.
I've already taken all of the money out of there. I put all the money that was in there into the real estate investment. You know that. So I tried to see if I can't split the finances with my wife once we get divorced, but...
You're telling me as though there's something I can do about any of this. I too invested a lot of money into this, so I'm afraid I have no way of helping you out either. Just wait, okay? You'll be able to get your money and then some soon, okay? I'll speak to you soon. Bye!
Molly! Wait, Molly! What the hell is going on? I have no idea what I'm going to do. I really am in deep trouble now. What should I do? I can barely afford to pay my employees' wages at this rate. What's more, I have to pay my accountant next month too. But with what money? All the while, the tax I need to pay is mounting up into a huge pile as I speak. It's almost like whatever money I earn is being sucked straight out my pocket. Maybe I could take out another loan. Why, oh why does it have to be like this? No, I can't let this happen. I can't let this happen whatsoever. Sophie. Yes, that's it. I have to find Sophie.
Hello? Sophie speaking. Who is it?
Hello, Sophie. It's me. Please, can we just talk for a little while?
How? What number is this? Are you some kind of weed or something? It seems no matter how many times I get rid of you, you keep popping up out of nowhere. Now that I think about it, is this your second phone that you're using? I guess that makes sense. A cheater would need a second phone at the ready to hide whatever dirty deeds he's been up to.
What are you talking about? It's a business phone, in case I need to be called into work. Why do your thoughts always go down that route, huh? Have you really misunderstood everything that's happened so far?
I heard all about how you'd call that woman into your office from time to time, too. So why should I think any different? You really are some kind of animal.
That's just not the case. Have you ever seen her here? With your own eyes? Well, have you?
Hey, I haven't seen her and I don't want to see her. Not that it matters. Isn't that why your employees are saying they hardly see you in the office these days?
Huh? What is that supposed to mean? Where on earth did you hear something like that? Who told you? Who was it? You have someone here spying on me, don't you?
Well, it turns out I found everything out just before I filed my lawsuit for a divorce against you. You're not even coming into work often and doing your job properly these days. And on top of that, I can imagine it must be hard for any employee to work for someone who's always coming in and out with the owner of a hostess bar. Now, why would I have any need to put a spy to work in a place like that? It's uncomfortable enough for your employees who work there as it is.
But even so, no matter how much work I still leave unfinished, I always make sure to pay my employees on time and properly every month. But besides all that, Sophie, I'm really, really sorry. For everything, I mean. I must have been completely out of my mind to act like I did back then. Please, I still love you.
Oh my. Are you still going on about that? I wish you'd give it a rest, at least just for a minute. I think perhaps you must have called me by mistake, no? I thought you said you loved Little Miss Bar Lady, not me.
I'm serious, Sophie. I'm really sorry. I know that I'm not good enough for you and you deserve a good man. But I really wanted to try and redeem myself, to make it up to you. I was a downright idiot to say the things that I did to you.
Is that all that was so foolish of you? Not a decent enough man for me, you say? I don't ever recall thinking that you were never enough for me. After all, how much willpower must it have taken to build a successful company like this all on your own? But soon after you started messing around like you did. Did you end up forgetting all of that?
No, but the thing was… Well, you're right. But if you were to just believe and trust in me one more time, I promise to get my act together and revitalize this company once again. Please, if you give me just one more chance, I promise to pay you back for such kindness. I mean it.
Even if that's what you intend to do, I'm afraid you'll have no opportunity to follow up on your words. You have really ruined everything, George. Do you think that at least maybe now you know how to act more appropriately? In regards to your work in your company, that is. You know you can't just keep on living scrounging off that girl that you cheated on me with. How long did you expect to keep all of this up?
What are you talking about? At least try to make some sort of sense.
This boy. Hey, that real estate that you've been investing in? They said there's no redeveloping currently happening over there. While we've been going through this divorce, I've been having a look to see where you've actually been going this entire time. But everything that I found clearly seemed like something was off to me. Listen, you said that you loved me, right?
Yes, of course.
If you love me that much, could you please just go away? Go anywhere away from here. Leave the country if you have to. We're done. I'm going to block this number, so don't bother trying to contact me again.
Wait. Sophie! Don't! Are you serious? Please! No, please. I can't believe this. This can't seriously be happening! Well, I finally lost. I finished. All I've got left to pay now is the lawyer's fee. Everything is totally ruined. It's all gone down the drain.
Sir? Excuse me, sir. We have a big problem, sir. It's the company. Well, you see…
Spit it out, Jenny. What's going on? Huh? What the heck is all this? What are all these little red things doing here?
I have no idea, sir. But more so than that, look at this. Over there. That person… there.
Aha. I believe you must be George, is that right? Well. You finally decided to appear before me. I'm sure you know better than most that if you borrow somebody's money, It's only right that you have to pay it back at some time or another. Excuse me? And who might you be? Come now, George. You really don't know who I am. I'm the person with the right to claim back the money that you borrowed from that private loan. So going forward, I'll be expecting at least $300 a day. Every day until you've paid back everything you owe. Are you serious? How on earth could anyone possibly pay back $300 every day? I haven't even borrowed any money from you, so what are you even asking me to pay you back for? Unless... Aren't you the guy who introduced me to the real estate company owner back then? That's right, Mr. Bossman. Now, as you know, when you go and use somebody else's money like it's your own, you really should read the small print. Only after checking all the details should you use that money like you did. Here, in the unfortunate case that you haven't sent all the money you owe back by this date, well, I'm afraid that it's already been agreed to that there will be a warrant put out to collect all of your belongings. Anyway, seeing as you'll start your repayment from today, I'm sure you'll be seeing my face around here a lot more often. So if you wouldn't mind going ahead and handing over today's installment, that would be much appreciated. Well, you see, the thing is, I don't actually have any money to give you right now. Can you not see what I'm doing right now? Look at all this mess everywhere. My company is on the brink of collapse, so how do you expect me to just hand over that kind of money? I don't even have $3 at the moment, never mind 300. And I'm expected to know that. Just who exactly do you think you're raising your voice to? It's not enough to just lay down and say you don't have the money to pay back when it wasn't yours to begin with. Now I'll ask you again. Give me my money back. Give me my money now.
Oh my god! Sir, please! What are you doing? Oh my!
You keep your mouth shut, you hear me? Why is it that you have these nice little employees and manage this nice little office but somehow have no money? If you really have no money, then go out and get selling some of your stuff so you can pay me back. Don't just stand there dawdling. Go and fetch my money. It makes sense now. You're an illegal loan shark, aren't you? You're all in on it together, aren't you? You're all trying to deceive me. Wait, the bar hostess. Molly. Is she involved with all of you guys too? Bar hostess this, Molly that. I have no idea who you're talking about. But if you really want to squabble over this and that, then go and do it outside while you're getting my money. Regardless, you need to start paying me back today, so hurry up and get some cash to give me. I need my money now.
Sir, I'm afraid I better go home now. This is all getting a bit too much.
Hey, Jenny, wait! Jenny! She was the only good employee I have left. Without her, who else can I find to come and work for me in this mess? It seems you really still haven't grasped the reality of the situation here, have you? This company has been run into the ground already. Pack up and organize your things and get me my money. I'm not going to ask you again. Let me go, will you? Let go of my collar and I'll give someone a call, okay? Oh man, I really have no one I could possibly turn to right now. Come on, why isn't she picking up her darned mobile phone? Even her bar is hardly open these days too. What could possibly be going on? But saying that, running an establishment such as hers must take a lot of organization. So she's probably just tired, right? Hey! Come on, open the door! Open up, I said! Is anyone there? Who the heck are you? And what do you keep banging on the door so loudly for? Man, what kind of crazy person was living in this place before me? They must have been up to no good for you to be knocking like that. It's like people are coming here every day just to take a hammering at this darn door. What's going on? Who the heck are you? And what do you think you're doing here? Is this guy serious? I just moved here like 2 weeks ago, dude. Who am I? Who are you? You've got some nerve beating down my door like there's no tomorrow. Whoever lived here before ended up running away in the middle of the night a few weeks back. Man, I know I didn't have enough money to move in anywhere else, but I had no idea it was this kind of apartment I'd be moving into. They ran away. But hey, wait. I gave a lot, and I mean a lot of money to the person who lived here before. And you see, I really need to get that money back. Everything has gone to ruin, and I can't seem to get a hold of them. By any chance, do you know their contact information? How the heck would I know? All I know is that they have been receiving a ton of mail and some sort of reminder about payments of some kind. The owner of this building was also surprised to see that she just got up and left one day, leaving the entire place vacant without a trace. But thankfully, that's why my deposit and monthly rent is so cheap. She said that renting it out to women is clearly too dangerous, so she was only looking for male tenants from now on. Well, if she's not here, what on earth am I supposed to do now? That crazy woman. She was in on it all along, wasn't she? She's out to deceive me too, just like that darn loan shark. Well, anyway, seeing as you now know that she doesn't live here anymore, please don't come back here again. You got that? It's just my luck that on the day I finally get to rest, all I want to do is try and sleep. But all these crazy people keep appearing at my door. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? My money! I need my money! Who could this be? Hello?
Hey, you! Are you trying to scam me too? You're in on all of this too, aren't you? You've been in cahoots with that loan shark, haven't you?
Molly, now you listen here. If either of us is one of them, I have no doubt in my mind that it is you. You've been working together with that guy this entire time, I bet.
Huh? How do you know about that? In that case, he must be pestering you right now too, babe.
Babe? Who do you think you're calling babe? Quit the act, Molly. I can't believe you. What did you do with my money? You took all my money and I need it back this instant.
Hey, it's not just you who's in trouble here. I got tricked by him too. And what's more, I ended up losing the lawsuit filed against us by your wife. In what world can something like that be proven if you don't have photo evidence? That I'll never understand.
What are you talking about? You ended up getting a lawyer yourself? So that's what you've been doing all this time. Why didn't you say anything?
Babe, come on! Why are you being like this? We're on the same side. Don't tell me you've forgotten that, have you? I thought we were investing in something legitimate too, but that loan shark has tricked me as well. He's taken everything from both of us. It's not just you that's suffering here. And you know, I have to pay back this compensation for filing the lawsuit, you see. Is there any chance you could possibly help me out with that?
You can't be serious right now. Do you have any idea of how much money me and you both owe that guy? I can't believe you have the nerve to be asking me something like this right now. I have no money. Nothing. Zero. Not even a penny. That loan shark is probably on his way to find me any minute now. My life is over.
But you told me countless times that you had a lot of money. You weren't bluffing all along, were you? Ugh, what a waste of time it was calling you. I'm hanging up now. Bye.
What? Hey! Don't you dare hang up on me! Molly! Hey! Oh, I can't stand that woman! Hey, the pair of you stop making so much noise outside my house and get the heck out of here! Hey! Hey, George! Wake up! Come on, get up! Hey! Here, drink this and get yourself cleaned up. Huh? I'm sorry. I must have fallen asleep while having a few beers last night. Why is it that I'm the one that's having to look after you? Here, I made you this. Eat up. Huh? What is this? Ramen? You're giving me even more ramen? Thanks, but my stomach's not feeling too great at the minute. Do you have anything a little more, I don't know, substantial? What? Are you kidding me right now? Like it or not, ramen is still food. It's either this or you don't eat at all, so consider yourself lucky. You've been sat here in my house doing sweet nothing for over 2 months now, George. When is it going to end? When are you finally going to take care of yourself? It's thanks to you my girlfriend can't even come over and stay at my place these days. Wow, thanks a lot for saying that. Really, I mean it. Some friend you are, huh? Is hanging around the house doing nothing with your girlfriend really so important? Are you even listening to how you're talking to me right now? I won't even have a house to do nothing in if you keep on living here without paying your way. You haven't given me a penny since you got here. Listen, I'm really thankful that you helped me out too when I was in debt. Really, I mean it. But I don't think I can take this anymore, George. It's too much. Jeez, what's gotten into you, man? Way to kill the mood or what? Fine, I'm sorry. Give it here, I'll eat it. Well, once you're finished eating, please get out. Hey, come on now, buddy. You're seriously going to kick me out over a tiny squabble about eating ramen? Surely not, right? I said I'm sorry, didn't I? No, I'm serious, George. I can't have you staying here with me any longer. I knew that at first this kind of thing would be pretty tough, living with you while you're going through some stuff and all. But that's not my job. I'm not your parents. It's not my responsibility to look after you. Especially not when you're making no effort to help out around here and always coming home late in a drunken mess. Okay, I get it. Well then, I'll stop the drinking, okay? Everything will be fine. Jeez, I thought we were friends. Why are you being so tough on me all of a sudden? I've had enough. Get out! Go on, get out now! You can leave the ramen here. Just go! And don't bother coming back either. Get out of my sight! Are you serious? But I haven't even touched the ramen yet! It seems we aren't friends after all then. Fine, I'm going! Ah, that's strange. Is there nobody home? Mom! Mom! It's me, George! Can you open the door and let me in? Hey! Keep it down, would you? And get out of here! Go away! Well, the buzzer didn't seem to be working, so I had to call up to you. Come on now, Mom, your son is here. Won't you let me in just for a little while? That loan shark isn't looking for me anymore, so everything will be okay. I promise. And what do you think you're doing here? A loan shark is a loan shark. They'll find you no matter where you try and hide. You really thought you could run a business so carelessly like you did and get away with it? And now that you've lost everything, you even have the nerve to come crawling back home. I'm lost for words. Come on now, Dad. You know how guys can be, right? These things happen from time to time. You're not really going to force your son to sleep all alone out in the street now, are you? If I'm honest, yes. I would rather send you out to live on the streets. At least that would remove you from this family for good. I'm going to act as though I never had a child, so don't even think about coming back here again. Dad, what the heck are you talking about? That's a little bit harsh even for you, isn't it? Even when I was trying to pursue my lifelong dream, you still tried to cut down what little self-esteem I had left. Are you seriously not going to allow me to come in? Your own son, who has absolutely nowhere to go. The fact that you've become the man that you are now, I thought we'd finally wiped our hands with you. Get away from the house and go and find yourself a darn job. And if you find yourself a place to stay, have a good laugh and stay there. It's really no wonder your marriage broke down. I'm sure she was sick of looking at such a pitiful face like yours. Dad, really? You've really never been like a father to me at all. I bet you hate it even when I call you my dad too, don't you? How can you be so harsh and cruel to your own child? You say the word dad as if I should still have the same responsibility in my old age as I did when you were a child, but that's not how it works. You're old enough to look after yourself and have been for a long, long time. I'm living comfortably in my old age. You need to start doing things for yourself too. Dad, please. I really have absolutely nowhere left to go. What am I supposed to do? What do you mean you have nowhere left to go? If there's no one that will take you on, then that tells me that this is of your own doing, no one else's. Way back from when you graduated college, me and your mother gave you everything we could. We tried to raise you as best we could, make sure you didn't go without. But even so, I can't believe my own flesh and blood ended up turning out just as useless as you. Now go on, get out of here. Go! I don't want to be here when that loan shark finally gets a hold of you. Dad, wait. No. Please, Dad! Oh no.
Oh, watch your step there. I think that guy must be a homeless person. I have to say, it's the first time I've seen people in that kind of state here. And my god, the smell!
Well, try not to make eye contact with him. He might get up and start asking you for things. Then you won't hear the end of it. Oh man. Look at this absolute mess I'm in. Everybody just keeps staring at me. Wait, hold on a minute. Over there. That woman! Is that Sophie? It can't be. Hey, Sophie! Over here!
Oh my god! Oh my, you startled me. Sorry, do I know you?
Sophie, it's me. George, you remember? But what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Why am I here? This is where my publishing building is. My car is broken down, so I had to take the subway instead. But what on earth are you doing here like this?
Me? Well, you see, I took out a loan and, well, I really had no other choice, so...
Ah, why am I not surprised? All that money that you took from your company to invest into the real estate got swindled from you, didn't it?
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what happened. They took absolutely everything from me. But say, Sophie,
Whoa, take it easy. Oh, there's quite a strong smell coming from your direction, so please don't come any closer.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't ask, but by any chance, could you lend me some money?
What? What did you just say? You are aware of who you are talking to right now, aren't you? Are you really asking your ex-wife? Are you begging right now?
It's pathetic, I know, but I have no choice. I've been starving for the past few days. I have nothing to eat. Just enough to grab some food. Nothing major. Maybe just like $10 would be okay. What do you say?
Okay, here, take it. Just don't come any closer, I said. Just $10? Here, I'll leave it over there. You can go and grab it yourself. I shouldn't have even turned around when he called my name. Ugh. Oh my god. That smell is too much to handle. It's literally spewing out of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sophie. Really, I'm so very thankful.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.